I won an auction for a custom-built Xbox Series S from eBay, but here's the catch. As soon as I won, the seller canceled my order and then relisted the same Xbox for a higher price. Very scummy. But I did still end up with this custom Xbox, so in this video, we'll check it out, and then I'll take you through my entire interaction with the seller because, oh boy, it's a doozy. Let's get into it. Yeah, can we just talk about the fact that this thing was shipped in a bubble mailer? Just listen to this. Something is rattling around, so I don't think it's still intact. Let's open it up and find out. Wow, that is... Oh, it's falling apart. What? Surprise! Let's take a closer look at this thing because what am I looking at? All right, so first of all, it's a Series S, but it's the purple edition, and also there's stuff falling... What is falling out of this thing? There's stuff all over my table. You can't see it, but it's like, that was a little scary. But I guess this thing is 3D printed. It appears so. It's just like a purple 3D print with holes in it on the top. And flipping to the front, we have a continuation of the 3D print. You can even see all of the 3D printed ridges here. And we also have a bunch of little strings kind of popping off. I don't know if you can see these because they're just little tiny strings that you can hardly see. But I mean, like the 3D print wasn't even cleaned up, which is just, yeah, that's something. Flipping to the side here, we have some rubber feet that I guess were added on. And flipping to the back, you can see it's still partially the normal Series S with the white back. And then the bottom here is like something added on that's like loose and coming out, or partially going in, partially coming out. There's a few little, actually, oh, it is broken right there. Yeah. You can see right there around the screw, it is, yeah, it's literally cracked around it because it was getting banged around in shipping, which is just awesome, man. But yeah, you can see the whole thing is like separating. You can see this part of the 3D print is just caving into the console. I don't know what to do with this info, but let's, I guess let's start by plugging this thing in and see what happens. Oh, and I should mention, the listing said it would include a power cord, which, where's my power cord? I'm using my own power cord. So another little addition that wasn't included. Well, let's go ahead and see if this thing turns on. 3, 2, 1. We got power here. We'll see if the fan does something. Oh yeah, fan goes up. Ooh, yay. Let's see if it boots up though. Wait, I can't press the sync button. The sync button doesn't work. Dude, what? Hold on. Okay, so looking at the front of this thing, it's got a sync button here, like a 3D printed one that I guess presses on the actual sync button, but it doesn't function. You gotta press it really hard and then it works, but there's no clicking at all, so that's interesting. Now guys, I did want to mention this, and this is essentially like a little sneak peek as to what you'll see later in the video, but maybe the sync button issue will be cleaned up on the second model of this Xbox Series S, and yes, that's right, later in this video, I'll take you through all the messages, all the lies, everything this seller has sent me, which includes a photo of his second model because for some reason, he thinks I'm interested in it. And man, let me tell you that the seller here, he just, he truly lives in a web of lies, which it'll make more sense later in this video when you understand the entire situation, but this lying, it's not healthy. But fortunately, while I'm dealing with these unhealthy lies, I have a way to make the rest of my life healthy with Thrive Market, who is the sponsor of today's video. So Thrive Market is an online membership-based grocery store that brings high-quality products right to your doorstep. Now, I personally like shopping with Thrive Market because not only do I know I'm buying quality products, but it also frankly helps me avoid all of the junk that's very tempting at the grocery store. You see, I love popcorn, so I'm for sure gonna pick up some kernels and that super unhealthy popcorn oil at the store, but with Thrive Market, I was able to satisfy my craving by picking up this protein popcorn, which was not only surprisingly really good, but also did not have a premium price tag because everything is guaranteed to be at the lowest price. Like, no joke, they have a whole price guarantee program to ensure that. And you know, maybe you want high protein products, or maybe you have certain allergies. Well, it's super easy to sort by these criteria on the website to make sure you get the right products. And another thing I love is they don't only have items for humans, they have some items for pets as well, as you can see from me feeding my dogs. So if you want to make sure you're living healthy, click the link in my description box or go to thrivemarket.com/JacobR to receive 30% off your first order and a free gift when you join Thrive Market today. We are booted up here. Let's go ahead and I guess sign in and see what this thing can do. All right, yeah, we're booted up and signed in, and we can scroll around the Xbox store, so I would assume this thing is not banned, so that's a good sign. I'm not going to test anything else with it, but I want to open this thing up and see what's going on inside of this case, or whatever you want to call it. So let's go ahead and proceed and do that. All right, guys, so I guess we'll start by taking the bottom off, and I think to do that, I need to take these 3 screws out, especially out of this little post that's broken, so let's do that and see what happens. You know what? I think these posts are broken. Like, I'm trying to unscrew them, and they don't unscrew. Oh wait, yeah, I can actually see. I can actually see the posts are broken. So this screw right here came out. This screw right here and this screw right here are not coming out because I believe the posts are broken. And let me show you that they actually are. You can kind of tell already. So the whole thing comes apart, and you can see literally all the posts are already broken. That's absurd. Well, let's go ahead and take a closer look at this thing. So you can see inside here, it is a pretty interesting 3D print. You have some buttons, I guess, hot glued in there, it looks like. for your sink, and then your power button, of course, up here. And I mean, looking at the top piece here, it's a cool design, it's a cool concept, but like, why is the 3D print quality so low, and why did you try to scam me? And of course, onto this piece over here, you can see, again, all 5 of these posts are broken here. And the crazy part is, this guy messaged me some more on eBay, so let me go ahead and just take you through the whole situation, show you the messages, and just, it's absurd, so let me show you. Now we'll start here. So I made a YouTube post basically when this happened, just recapping the initial situation. And essentially I won the Xbox for $184.50. Then right after I won, I got an email from eBay saying the seller canceled his order due to the following reason: I'm out of stock or the item is damaged. And I was like, that's a little suspicious. So let me go ahead and check out the eBay seller's page. And sure enough, the first listing that pops up is an Xbox Series S for $229.99, the exact same one. So basically I won the auction. He didn't like how much it sold for, so he canceled it and then relisted it for $45 higher so he could make some more money. And if you're not familiar with eBay, this is a pretty scummy thing to do, like one of the scummiest things you can do. So let me just explain what I did next and kind of what happened. So just for clarity, this is the listing I won. So $184.50 is how much it sold for, and it says congrats on the big win, meaning that I won the auction. But of course it was canceled, and this is the new listing, $229.99. You can see it's the exact same, and the photos are the same, but like shifted around, which will actually come into play later. Surprisingly, you'll see why. But you know, it only made sense for me to go and make an offer to this guy for $184.50, which is what I won the original auction for. So I went and did that, but it got turned down because the listing sold, and it sold to me. But it was kind of in a roundabout way. I had Danny, who you might know Danny. He's been on the channel a few times. He's on the Spoken Silicon channel. I had him order the Xbox, so it wasn't my same profile. So let me take you back over to the YouTube post that I made a couple weeks ago, because there's a lot of details in the comments that are actually useful. So first thing I saw that really raised some questions is this comment that says, this guy actually had this posted near my area for sale. I messaged him and wanted to buy it. We arranged a date and time and place to meet up. After a day, he messaged me and asked if I could go higher for him. I told him I was already fine with the price we agreed on and didn't want to go higher. He proceeded to tell me I was broke and then blocked me. So I responded to this comment. I never got a reply back, so I don't know how accurate this is, but I think it is accurate because of the next comment and the rest of the situation. So let's go ahead and get into the next part. So next up, this one's a real doozy. I scrolled to the bottom of the comments on the same post, and we have a comment here, a very long comment from somebody that says, I'm the seller and wanted to come on here and clarify I was happy about the final bid price and wanted to sell it, but I had it up on Facebook Marketplace and had it sold the day before. So the first sentence there confirms this guy actually did have it locally, so the other guy that commented probably was correct. And next thing this guy says is, I will have you know that the other listing was already up because I had 2 of them. Yeah, you had 2 of them. Okay. Next up, he says, if you notice, the first picture of the second listing has a different orientation than the first listing. Bro, hold on. You're telling me that it's different, it's a different Xbox because your first photo is a different orientation? Are you playing games with me right now? What? Hold on. So, okay, so before we keep going, let me just show you some comparisons now. Okay, so here on the left side is the auction I won. Here on the right side is the second Xbox that he listed for a higher price. So let's go ahead and step through these photos and kind of explain what's going on here. So you can see, sure enough, first photos are different orientations. That means nothing though, because watch this. If you go here on the Xbox that I won, you can find another photo that's literally the exact same. Like, look at it, you can just examine it. Like, those little specks there are exactly the same as the specks over there. The hand placement is the same. The stuff in the background is the same. Just like, you can pause and look at it if you want to, but they're exactly the same. Then we find another photo that's exactly the same. Then we find another photo that's exactly the same. Then we find another photo that's exactly the same. Then we find a 5th photo that's exactly the same. And what do you know? A 6th one exactly the same. And last but not least, this one's exactly the same. So this guy is trying to tell me that it's a different Xbox Series S because he reordered the photos. He continues to BS me the entire time. So let's go back into his comment and continue reading because it gets worse. And he says, to be honest, I wasn't happy with the build quality on this revision, you don't say, and was in the middle of perfecting the design before listing any more, if any at all. Okay, and then he says, that is why I canceled the listing and I hope to clear things up and there is no bad blood. Hold on. Okay, so now you've contradicted yourself. He first says he canceled because it was listed on Facebook Marketplace and it sold the day before. He then says the other listing was up earlier because he actually had 2 of them. So why couldn't you just take that one and ship it to me if you had 2 of them? And now he is saying he didn't sell it to me because he wasn't happy with the build quality. And he said, I've also messaged the person who won the bid on eBay to let them know it was out of stock, which is me. He did message me that after he canceled it. That's when we step into the next thing, which is the messages. All right, so first here you can see, of course, his message that he canceled it. Then you can see he said, if you would like, I'm able to make one custom to you color-wise. And at this point, I had received the Xbox because Danny bought it. It's here, I'm filming it, and I'm trying to like make him realize that I actually have his Xbox. So I sent him a photo of the Xbox on my table here, as you can see. And I say, can you make one like this? And he goes, no, that is my old model. I'm working on a better one at the moment. So he hasn't realized that I have his Xbox at this point. And then I say, what is better about it? And he sends a photo of a new one, which arguably I don't want to say it, but it looks worse. I mean, he said it's textured, but it's like, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. But he sends a photo and says, new model hides layer lines, has more of a finished texture. And I say, does it come with a power cord? Oh yeah, because the one he shipped me didn't come with a power cord. And he says, not unless you ask ahead of time. And I said, I am asking ahead of time. And he proceeds to send me a screenshot of the listing saying, we'll throw in a power cord. But that's the same screenshot from the listing that I bought, or that Danny bought, and did not have a power cord included. So what does that tell me? And he says, I'll be sure to throw one in then. And at this point, I'm just trying to string it along. I just say, what about an HDMI? He says, no, I don't add those, sorry. I said, I will pay $10 extra. And at this point, he says, I'm aware you do YouTube and have a website you sell on. Okay. He says, if you want, I can make you a few different colors. And he sends a picture of an orange one. I don't know what you're getting at, but all right. He says, this is my first prototype. I said, can you make one rainbow colored? And he says, dude, that would be so cool, which I guess it would, but I don't know. I'm just making conversation at this point for him to try to realize what's going on. And then he says, yeah. And then I'm trying to still get him to realize that I have his Xbox. So I sent him a photo of his little label in the corner of the Xbox I have and said, and put this in really large text on the front. And he says, did you want to put your gamer tag on it? And I said, no, I just want whatever this label is on the front. And then this is the part where, like, I'm sorry, either he has no idea what's going on, or he's playing 4D or 5D chess at this point, and I'm like, I'm just way out of it. But he says, did you want to collab? Well, unintentionally, we are collabing now, but he says, people love drama. We have already started out great. What? Oh my gosh. I read that. I was dying laughing. I don't even know how to respond to that. Like, at this point, I'm just assuming, like I said, he's playing 5D chess, and I'm an idiot, or the opposite. I don't know, man. So at this point, I'm like, I got to get him to know that I have it. I don't know if he even realizes at this point that I have his Xbox. And I say, only if you ship me one in bubble mailer, and I still need an HDMI as well. And he says, I'm glad you like the bubble mailer, which I'm assuming at this point he realizes I have his Xbox that he shipped in the bubble mailer. But guys, it doesn't stop there. Let me show you. Danny went in and put a return request because, you know, the corner was cracked on the Xbox like you guys saw earlier. And he responds back and says, nice try, I have pictures from you that show it in perfect condition. Mind you, Danny has not sent this guy any messages at all, so he doesn't. And next up he says, but seriously, if you want me to believe it came in damaged, why wouldn't you have messaged me as soon as it was delivered instead of waiting over a week? And he says, I don't see why you felt the need to open a case if it was really damaged upon arrival. So now he's just trying to say that we're lying to him. And so those were in the like item not as described case on eBay. And then it gets into messages. He starts sending messages here. And you can see the first thing he sends are some screenshots that he had with me. Again, a different eBay account. He says it was clearly dropped. These pictures these pictures take the day it came in the mail and sent to me by the person who you sent them to. And then Danny replies back saying, those photos you're showing aren't from my account, so I don't know how that's relevant at all. This is the packaging the console arrived in, so it really shouldn't be surprising that it arrived damaged. But it keeps going. He says, you are right, except this is the only on I have that the Schultech stamp, and I have pictures from the day it was delivered to your address. Not sure how you know them, but it was clear that was intact when it arrived. So first of all, this is a confusing sentence. But what really stood out to me is the fact that he says, this is the only one I have with the Schultech stamp. Hold on. Okay, so you said earlier you have two different Xboxes, right? That's why you have two listings. But both of the listings here, the one I won and the one that Danny won, both say Schultech on them. So do you have one console or do you have two? He just keeps lying. He just continues to lie. What is going on? But back to the messages, Danny says, I mean, I can get eBay involved, but I don't really think that needs to go that far. I have proof it arrived damaged, aka the overhead video of this being unboxed. He says, do you have proof it somehow didn't? And then he just continues to send screenshots of my messages to him and says, explain how he would know that it was shipped in then. And then Danny responds back, I don't know what you do for other orders from other people, man. You're acting really weird, LOL. And then he finally backs off. He's like, I'm sorry, dude. I just have everybody claiming things and lying about stuff, and I lose money because of it. Wait. Hold on. Everybody complaining about things and everybody lying. The only common denominator here is you. Maybe you're the one lying, as we've seen throughout this video. Maybe you're the one shipping stuff in bubble mailers that shouldn't be shipped in bubble mailers. I mean, come on, man. And then next up he says, but seriously, if you want me to believe that it came in damaged, why wouldn't you have messaged me as soon as it delivered instead of waiting a week? I don't see why you felt the need to open a case that was really damaged upon arrival. Sure enough, next day, there's actually shipping label. So we have not sent it back yet, but there might be more to the story after we send it back. I don't know, maybe I don't get a refund. So if you guys want to see another crazy situation that's honestly, it might be crazier than this one, might not be, but check out this eBay situation from a year ago with Yard Sale Dale. If you haven't seen it, you got to watch it. It's insane. Go watch it. I'll see you guys next time.